sorry, kiddo, I really am. You have a good soul. And I hate giving good people bad news.
He's Tony, I'm Mike. Today, we are reviewing 60-Second Assassin.
I'm Minute Fong, and I never lose.
Minute Fong? Well now that you're here, this guy Minute Fong won't have any chance.
You've never met this Fong.
We know the man we want lives in Fenling. We know that he's about 50. Also, he has a scar on his right foot.
Ying Ying? You fool. Your mother?
At home, but why do you want to talk to her?
Ask permission.
She'll never agree.
Ying Ying.
Starring a lot of people that we don't know, so it really doesn't matter. Directed by a guy we don't know, so it really doesn't matter. But walk us through the plot.
So this is going to be kind of difficult here. So we have Fong Chin, who is our 60-second assassin.
It's also known as Minute Fong.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Doesn't matter. So it starts off with him fighting somebody. He beats him in 60 seconds. You can tell because he has a little stopwatch.
Yeah.
That they got from his father.
Minute Fong!
So Fong beats this guy. He goes to the person that he thought he hired.
his master, I
No.
believe.
So,
Oh, no, wait,
master.
yeah.
So he
his
defeats
employer.
He defeats this guy. He goes to the guy that hired that guy. He never, because the guy that hired him to defeat the 60-second assassin, he never actually saw him.
Well now that you're here, this guy Minute Fong won't have any chance. With your help, I'm sure that we can handle him.
You've never met this Fong.
No.
And so functions, haha, I am the 60-second assassin.
Do you think Fong will come?
He will.
He probably can't get through the guards.
But he has.
And I must beat you in 60 seconds. So he beats him and his crew in 60 seconds. Jump forward. He gets put on a mission from his actual master. Hey, go to this village, find this Liao guy.
We know that he's about 50. Also, he has a scar on his right foot. But if you can get him, you'll be rewarded.
Problem is, and he tells them this also, hey, they're half the people and they're also named Liao.
We know the man we want lives in Fenling. But still, his proper name and his address there are not known yet. His surname's Lai, but in that town, half the people are named Lai.
So he goes to the village. He runs into this young kid. He befriends him and he trains him in kung fu.
Your mother?
At home, but why do you want to talk to her?
Ask permission.
She'll never agree.
Teach you secretly.
Really?
He meets his milfy mom.
Ying Ying.
Wait, there's a bit of a subplot there. He meets his milfy mom, who just so happens to look exactly like the prostitute that he had had a long-standing relationship.
Take this back. Think I want money?
Yeah, who he then gave money to and said, look, I'm a loner, I want to be by myself, go buy your freedom, make yourself happy.
Fongji, let's both leave here and find a quiet place, settle down, have a family, live like humans.
And the two pimps that actually own her decide, no, that's not going to happen.
Have a family? Live like humans? Can't have that! You're staying here!
And Minute Rice, he kicks their asses, but he lets them live. Because he's an assassin, but he's not that kind of assassin.
Yeah. So anyway, she ends up, he comes back later and she killed herself. She committed suicide.
Yes, because she just does not want to be, she can't imagine a life without Minute Fong.
Yeah.
Ying Ying? Ying Ying. You fool.
So anyways, jumping back, Minute Rice meets Milfy lady, I forgot her name, and also grandfather and
Something Lao, I'm betting.
and so Grandpa Lau takes a shine to Minute Fong, and
he's a teacher. He teaches Confucian beliefs at the school for the kids in the village.
Every man is born good.
Every man is born good.
And his whole thing is that, you know, mom is upset that the kid is going to learn kung fu from this stranger that came in waltzing out of town. But the grandpa's notion is, hey, you know what? Let him learn kung fu, because then between my teaching and his teaching, he won't have to fight. He will know when it's time to fight.
Recently, the boy's been working hard on his lessons. The more he learns, then the less he'll want to learn kung fu.
Dad.
It's a very, you know, realistic notion, which is strange, but anyway.
Yeah, and so from there, really shenanigans begin at the very beginning, but from here, shenanigans ensue.
Yeah, kung fu ensues. This is an immensely dense film.
There is a lot going on here.
There's
a
ton going on, but then on top of there being a ton going on, there is a ton of kung fu fighting.
Yes.
And I mean, like literally, it's like you have to pay so close attention to actually figure out what the hell the plot of this film is, because there's like 2 lines of dialogue and then 5 minutes of fight. Well, actually, 60 seconds of fighting. And then, you know, another 2 lines of dialogue, and then another, 60 seconds of fighting.
Well, you're looking at your tiger right now.
I'm going to say this, and I'm watching the movie, and I'm like going, wait, there's 4 guys there. Does he still got to beat all of their asses in a minute, or does he get 4 minutes now because it's 1 minute for each of them?
And really, the only time he times it is at the very beginning. So the first fight, and then the second fight where he goes to the guy all the rest of them, they're not timed at all, and they go on for quite a bit longer than 60 seconds.
Well, I mean, when he's fighting, there's the 2 assassins that were sent by his master, who he doesn't realize is the master. He's assuming that guy works for the master, but then it's revealed that he actually is the master, which is a layer of convolution that didn't really need to be there, but sure, why not?
Yeah.
Chow Sao Tong, what's going on here?
It's simple. Chow Sao Tong is the master. Master is Chow Sao Tong.
But then he's got the 2 assassins that are gunning for his spot because he is Minute Rice and he is the top assassin in their clan. And because of that, they want his spot.
Mr. Fong, these two men here have joined us. Maybe they could go around with you and possibly pick up some tips.
When he's sent to the town and he's told, his name is Lau and he's about 50 years old and he's got a scar on his foot. This is all pretty,
generic information.
Yeah, very generic information. But then he finds out that the grandfather is, the teacher, but he is actually the guy that he's sent for. He also finds out that the grandfather committed the crimes that they want him killed for.
No, the son of grandfather
he
committed
takes
the crimes.
responsibility for them.
Look, my friend, don't need the list. I won't lie to you.
Are you guilty?
Fong Jin, I did wrong. And my son died on my account.
Yes,
but
yes. And so that comes into play.
Actually, he says to the assassin, "I did it. Kill me." Yeah. And then Grandpa gets killed, and then it turns out later that it's revealed that no, his son actually did it, but he felt bad about it. Yeah. So I'm 50% wrong on that one instead of 100%. But
so just to kind of wrap up the plot here real quick. So Minute Rice finds out that Grandpa is the Liao he's looking for, and is getting ready to fight him. But the young kid jumps in between them and Fong accidentally hits him.
Yeah.
And so
breaks his spine and kills him.
Fong is distraught. He leaves. The two other assassin guys show up and kill the family.
Yes.
So then Fong's got to get revenge.
Of course.
Kills the two assassin guys.
Who killed the Lai family? Who was it?
I killed the old man.
And I raped the woman.
Finds out that that his boss is actually the master.
Yes.
They fight. It ends before there's a conclusion to the fight. I'm like, wait, what the fuck happened here? Who won the fight? And I tried to watch 3 other versions of this movie on YouTube to see if there's a different ending. Nope, same ending. They jump in the air and then blood and then
the end. Yeah. I went back and rewatched it, and I was paying very close attention to the fight sequence. Spoilers. If you Minute Rice gets stabbed by one of the 2 assassins, and so he has this wound. And when they're fighting, the master actually hits him on that side and pulls his hand back, and he has blood on it, and he realizes that he's injured. So he starts concentrating on that wound. But, Minute Rice is, the 60-second assassin, and then while they're fighting, he does kill the master, but I think the master also kills him at simultaneously, the same time. So I think it's a death blow for both of them, and therefore no need to prolong it, that last kick, because they're both flying at each other at the very end. Yeah. So I'm pretty positive that that's the intent.
That's kind of how I took it too, but I hated that ambiguous ending. Whatever.
I don't blame you. It was most definitely wait, what? That was the end?
Yeah.
Wait, I gotta go back. What the hell happened there? Yeah. So I did the same thing that you did.
But also right before that final jump kick, he pulls something off of him and throws it up in the air. So I don't know if it's like a kidney or a liver. What the fuck he pulls out of there?
Actually, it looked like a piece of cloth.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, the thing is, this film is part of the Wu-Tang collection. Thank you, Wu-Tang. It's for the kids. But because of that, this is like one of those films that it got imported over here. As to whether or not this is a literal translation, who knows? It was like, thrown out there very quickly. It was put in very low rent theaters, and therefore it became part of the Americanized kung fu culture. This isn't even a Hong Kong film. This movie was made in Taiwan.
Yeah.
And so that being said, we don't really know what the original intent of this film was. We don't know if this is actually a fairly good or bad translation. We don't actually even know what the hell the significance of the watch is, because it's quite possible that it was something that, he was avenging his father and that was the watch. But because it's now called 60-second assassin, they decided, oh, hey, he's got to kill everybody in 60 seconds. Yeah. We'll never know. But thank you, Wu-Tang, for actually seeing the value in these films and attempting to preserve them in the best format possible. This one's not great by any stretch of the imagination. I'm sure this one was preserved off of VHS or Laserdisc or something, because it's pretty low quality-wise. But
so I don't know which one I like better, this one or
the Brutal Boxer. Yeah.
Do you think so?
I think so. And I'm going to say this. As much as I'm saying that, I'm going to say this film is prime for a remake, because there's a really interesting story here.
There is a good story here.
And there is some really interesting characters here. And the thing is that because this was done on the cheap, and because it was very obviously like shot over a week and then slapped together, it has moments of greatness and moments of what the fuck did I just watch? And
speaking of what the fuck that I just watched, there's a scene with the guy that has part of his face covered.
Yes, he's hiding a scar on one side of his face.
So did he jizz in his pants there when he's flirting with the flower girl? And was his buddy giving him a handy?
I don't.
I'll throw the clip here. Or you'll throw the clip here. Whoever's editing this is going to throw the clip here. And then you can put down in the comments what the hell is going on with this guy.
What's this?
I thought you were having another attack.
I don't know what you mean.
I'm sure there's a lot of this movie that was edited out, because there's, like you said, there's some weird jump cuts. No, I think you actually said it, but there's some weird editing choices in this movie. So
see, all the fight sequences are actually really well edited. You understand exactly what's going on and how the fight is progressing and all that. But it feels like there was connective tissue, story stuff that was, either not able to be restored or just lost in translation, or like when they brought it over here, they're like, that's not what people are coming here to see. Let's cut all this crap out, just dub in the barest amount of dialogue, and then throw it in. So again, unless somebody actually uncovers a archival quality print of this film, we're never going to know. And this is a phenomenon that's not just with imported films from this time period, but also there's a lot of exploitation cinema that had the same fate happen to it as well, where there's a version of the film that's been preserved, but it was locked down to make space in drive-ins or movie theaters to turn audiences over, so story beats get lost. But again, there is some real thought in the story and some real thought in the character, and you could take this concept, you could write a decent script, and you could make a hell of an action film out of it, and it would work.
You can even take these basic beats and kind of change genres. It'd still be an actual genre, but it doesn't have to be kung fu. It could be any other type of thing.
Yeah, it could be a gun fu film. It could, just a straight up, like, I'd like to see the guy from The Raid get a hold of this and do a serious remake of it, because there's some heavy stuff in here too.
There is. So and the reason why I kind of like this slightly better than Brutal Boxer is because the story here is better and more coherent. Once you watch it and you can make sense of it, because like you said, these edits are fucking wackadoo.
You've got to parse the story out, though. And again, like I said, it's like one line of dialogue here and there, and you just kind of got to watch the whole movie and then piece the story together in your
Yeah.
mind. And it's one of those that you may not appreciate it while you're watching it, but after you're done watching it and you think about what you just saw, you can kind of put the story together and go, hey, you know what? There's something interesting here. I just have a few notes.
Really
on
quick,
this
we're
one.
15 minutes already.
Yeah, so I was going to say, like I said, we already talked about it. There's no box office information on this. There's no budget information. Here's the only two notes that are worth knowing. First off, there is the Sons of Man who are affiliated with the Wu-Tang Clan, and one of the members of the group goes by 60-Second Assassin. So he was obviously a fan of this film. And then Busta Rhymes did a song called 60-Second Assassin, and that's it. That's all I got for you on this one. There's so little information about the history of this film and the production of this film that it literally boils down to like a sentence or two about here's the actor, and he's not a great actor, but he's a really good martial artist, obviously. And here's the director, and he's known for doing a lot of kung fu films. Obviously. and that's it.
End of the day, recommend?
The end of the day, if you are a martial arts film fan, I would say throw this in your queue to watch. It's not like you got to run out and do it, but I will say that this is ripe. This is ready to roll. There's good stuff here, but the weird editing, the weird ending, the connective tissue that's missing. I can't recommend it to a cinemaphile, but I will definitely recommend it to a martial arts fan.
Yeah, same here. Only if you're a martial arts fan will you probably really enjoy this, or if you like trash cinema. Other than that, no need to watch it. And
anything else? No.
That's what I got.
We will catch you next time.